Hello, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football. Massive smile on my face because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, well, he's been sacked. Left by mutual consent, sacked, fired, all the same thing to me. It's all under the same umbrella, but we no longer have to endure what Solskjaer was putting us fans of Manchester United through. However, Michael Carrick, Phelan, McKenna, Fletcher are all still there, which doesn't really make sense to me. I'm hoping, and I know Ibs is hoping he's only going to be there for one game, which is the Champions League match away to Villarreal tomorrow, which kicks off at 5 p.m. Look, the title of the video says, Pochettino confirmed. Is he confirmed? Do you want Pochettino?
I don't know if he's confirmed, but I know that he wants to come. That's what, as reports say.
Yeah.
Sky Sports being one of those outlets who are saying this at the moment. So if he wants to come, as you said in the intro, we don't really want Carrick for more than one game. Yes, Carrick will be in charge tomorrow, but if Pochettino is available to come and he wants to come, then give him the job. I'd rather have him come in rather than keep Carrick for the rest of the season, for example, and then maybe we have the opportunity to sign Poch or Ten Hag or whoever. But if Poch is available right now, then we should get him. There's no reason why we delay and get him in for this weekend. Obviously, we're away to Chelsea this weekend as well.
Look, I know that the way this club is run isn't very good, and ideally we should have had a replacement the second Solskjaer was gone. They should have had something in place for the sacking, because it wouldn't have been a surprise. It wouldn't have been a sudden change of heart at the top. It would have been a thought out process, or hopefully it would have been. But I don't think, me personally, before we got Solskjaer, I wanted Pochettino, because that's when he was flying at Tottenham. You know, they'd very recently, or they hadn't just got to the Champions League final yet. They were doing very well. You're on mute.
Yeah, I was saying they got to the Champions League final.
Was that the season that Solskjaer got the job?
They got to the final in 2019. I think, yeah, Ollie would have been here.
Yeah, however long or before or after he got the job, Tottenham were flying. Pochettino was the man. He was the guy. He was one of the better managers in the league, and he had a lot of hype around him. So that's when I was more interested in having him take over from Mourinho. But now, maybe the hype has died down. I don't know whether the hype has died down because he's not as good as he was, or because he's at PSG, or because of the stale happenings that went on at Tottenham. Look, Tottenham at the moment, they have two world-class players in Son and Kane. They have a great manager in Conte who's hopefully going to take them back to the top. But from the games that Conte's been in charge, the Tottenham team in general just look old. They look boring. They look tired of everything. So maybe that was not Pochettino. But I'm thinking about this. I said to you before the show, if I had to wait 2 more games, so let's say Carrick would have been in charge for 3 games to get Ten Hag, then I'd get Ten Hag. I would prefer Ten Hag over Pochettino, and I'm not going to mention Zidane's name in this because he's ruled himself out.
He doesn't want to come.
Yeah, we can't get Zidane right now. And I say right now because maybe he might have changed his mind in the summer, but we can't wait that long. I would wait an extra couple of games to get Erik Ten Hag, because I believe he would be the most natural person for the job. The way he plays football at Ajax mirrors the way that Manchester United would play football. The players we have in our team, I think he would be able to get the best out of. We got a world-class, best-in-class player in Bruno Fernandes under Solskjaer. Look at the stats he's posting under Solskjaer. Imagine what he could do under a manager that could take him to the next level, because
exactly.
he hasn't actually improved.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say he hasn't improved at all. From when he signed him, he's been performing at the same level. He hasn't actually improved his game. It's not like it seems like he hasn't learned much in his game. He's just been doing what he does.
Yeah.
But imagine next level Bruno. Insane.
Look, you could say that about 8 or 9 players in the team. Imagine next level Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Shaw, Pogba, Sancho, Rashford, Greenwood, Ronaldo, Fernand. All of these players could be taken. First of all, the new manager bounce is a thing. It happens. Not sure it will happen under Carrick, because Solskjaer admitted himself many times over his tenure as United manager that he doesn't coach the team. Carrick, Phelan, McKenna, they coach the team. So nothing probably will change in terms of the way we play. I still expect us to win because we're Manchester United and we have a very good team. We have very good individual players and who can produce very good individual moments. But it's going to be a tough game, and we'll see what the reaction of the team is tomorrow. But Pochettino, I don't want it to be a situation where they get pressured by the fans, because they do look at social media. They look at the volume of people that will be saying Pochettino or Ten Hag or Rodgers or whatever. But I don't want them to just be like, oh, we have to get a manager quickly. Let's get let's get Pochettino quick because he's there. Because he's flirting with Manchester United. Reports coming out, I think he might have already said it, I can't even remember, that he would be open to quitting PSG now, as in within the next 24 hours, and coming to Manchester United before the Chelsea game. But I don't want it to be a situation like that where quick, get him now, quick. Or we could get Ten Hag, but you wait a week or two.
But the thing is, what Poch knows is he'll be in Manchester for the PSG City game.
That's just pure coincidence, man.
He's like, oh, I'm going to be here. You might as well get me after this game. Yeah, we'll just beat City and then you get me, sign me, and I'm here for the Chelsea game. I'll already be in Manchester. I'll say my farewells to Messi and co, and then I'll come and join Ronaldo and co.
Yeah, because you say it like it's planned. It's
like it's meant to be.
It is like it's meant to be, but what also is meant to be is Erik Ten Hag. He's got Edwin van der Sar, a Manchester United legend, above him. He definitely, I don't care. He will be talking to him. He'll be asking Van der Sar, what's it like? Blah, blah, blah. What are the Glazers like? Because Van der Sar was there when the Glazers were here. He'll be asking the questions. We'll be talking to Ten Hag. We'll be talking to Pochettino, and that's a fact. We're not going to be doing absolutely nothing now because we're not that incompetent. We're not that amateurish. Like, that's just common. That's business.
They are planning. The club are planning ahead for what's next. Not just Carrick in his pre-match press conference today was saying how he was just told yesterday on Sunday about he's in the role, but he doesn't know how long he's in the role for. Yeah. He knows that the club obviously looking for a permanent manager. So the club aren't, as far as we do say that the club is incompetent, the board is very incompetent. But on this issue right now, we can only pray that they do the right thing. Look, and as you said, Ten Hag, I'm going to quickly go on to Ten Hag. For him, Man United is a step up. This is what he probably aspires to be at that level. He's performing at a great level with Ajax, Champions League football, playing great football, but United is a step up and obviously where he probably aspires to be as a manager or coach.
United is a higher step. Regardless of how we're performing, imagine you have 5 steps. At the top step, you have United, Madrid, Munich, Barcelona, Liverpool, maybe even City. United is on the top step. It's I would say, the toughest job in world football. So you have to have a lot of heart to come in. And that's one thing I can say about Solskjaer. He would have known this. Everyone would have known this. And you can see with his farewell interview. To be honest, I didn't actually watch it. I only watched the clips of him crying at the end or whatever. But you could see what it can do to a man. It's the toughest job in world football, 100%. I'd say closely followed by the England job, to be honest. I think Ten Hag is tailor-made for it.
To be honest, I haven't personally really watched Ajax or seen the way they play, but obviously so many United fans obviously want him to join the club. What would you say is stands out for him as a coach or manager?
Ten Hag,
yeah.
Attacking football, the free-flowing football that they play. They played Dortmund twice. They beat Dortmund twice in the last 2 rounds of the Champions League. It's Ajax. What's it? I cannot remember what it's called. It's not total football, I think it's called. But I feel like it might be called total football. The Johan Cruyff way, which he then brought to Barcelona. They play football in a certain way that every manager that they've had that has been before Ten Hag has played the same way. It's a religion that runs through the club. They're great passing on the ball, great movement, great attacking, entertaining football that we're not really seeing at Manchester United. Ten Hag has been educated there. He was at another team in Holland before. I know they have a yellow badge, but I can't remember the name. He would bring that. He'd bring that back to Old Trafford, and I say back because that's the way we were playing. Sometimes, well, I wouldn't say all the time because we're not Ajax, but it's just we're lacking, and I would prefer him. I would prefer him to Pochettino because of the differences in their management. When Pochettino's at Tottenham in the Premier League, I say in the Premier League because obviously that's quite important. Did he use wingers too much, or was it like a more narrow front three? Sometimes he played three at the back. Sometimes their play was a bit boring. It wasn't entertaining to watch. It was still Tottenham. No matter how good they were, it was still Tottenham. They still looked vulnerable and they still looked a bit.
At the same time, the way he did set up his team, remember they almost won the league that season. They almost won the league, Champions League as well. He still brought them so close, but obviously they couldn't make it over the line.
Yeah, and every manager's been close. Ole Solskjaer almost won the league. If you want to put it in that bracket, if you really want to be critical and nitpick, Pochettino came third in the 2-horse race. The whole league bottled the league that year against Leicester. Liverpool bottled it, but no one says anything about that. It's just because it's Pochettino. It's just because it's Tottenham. It's funny to make fun of Tottenham's lack of trophies, and now that he's linked to Manchester United, it's funny to bring that back up. It's Ten Hag who's won trophies in Holland with Ajax, the biggest club in Holland, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and implemented a style of play that's widely recognized around Europe. I say implemented. He's carried on a style of play that's widely recognized around Europe. He took them to the semi-finals, had them play 2 legs against Tottenham, which I haven't forgotten, and I know a lot of other people wouldn't have forgotten. He just took them to Dortmund twice and beat them twice. He's getting international recognition, and you don't do that by accident. You don't accidentally become one of the better managers in Europe because you just happen to be a good team. If he came to Manchester United and had an upgrade on literally every single player and implemented this stuff, imagine taking out Dusan Tadic for Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, Haller for Ronaldo. Instead of Daley Blind at the back, you've got Rafa Varane. You know what I mean? You have an upgrade on every player. You can take your game to the next level, all whilst taking the players to the next level, taking Manchester United, not from just finishing in the top 4, scraping a second place finish like Solskjaer did, but genuinely challenging for the title. He took Ajax to the semi-final of the Champions League, and I'm looking around Europe now, and I genuinely do believe a lot of the teams might be, I wouldn't say worse off than they were a few years ago, but Barcelona aren't there. Real Madrid aren't fully there. Juventus aren't fully there. What's it called?
You're basically saying that the UCL was there for the taking.
Yeah, it's there for the taking. Tuchel came in and done it last year. The teams in Europe didn't look as convincing as they did a few years ago. We're going to get out of this group. I'm certain of that. A manager comes in, you get the new manager bounce, you have a different style of play, the new enthusiasm from the players that will take you until the end of the season. At the very least, you get in Ten Hag. I'm not saying, oh yeah, we get Ten Hag, we're definitely going to win Champions League. But look, you're thinking, wow, we might actually go on and win something this season, because now at the moment we're not winning anything. Definitely not winning the Champions League. 100% out of the Premier League race. FA Cup, we haven't won that since 2015, so it's not looking like the again. So,
well, you mentioned Ten Hag and how he's going to have an upgrade on these players, as you mentioned, but how is he going to deal with that? This is different. It's about egos, things like that. Poch is currently struggling, or has been struggling with that at PSG, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. You're saying Ten Hag has never had to deal with these kind of egos or big players. If he was to come, how do you think he's going to deal with that? Because, yeah, you could say he plays great football at Ajax and coaches them very well, and players buy into his philosophy and stuff. But, yeah, he's doing it at Ajax, but Man United, Ronaldo, Rashford, Sancho, Bruno, all these big names, how is he now going to, if he was to come, how would he cope? Or how do we know he's going to cope with that?
Before I answer that, do you think Pochettino is struggling with the egos? Like, I hear it sometimes.
I think he is. I think.
Why would you say that?
I remember seeing him take off Messi at half time or something to bring on Icardi. and Messi is just frustrated. You don't really do those kind of things.
Sometimes you have to in football, and they went on to win that match. Like, sometimes you have to do that. Ronaldo's been subbed off by Oli. Ronaldo was taken off.
But at the same time, PSG haven't had the best of results so far. But yes,
that's a myth. They're 11 points clear in the league.
Yeah, they might be 11 points clear, but it's because I guess we just expect them to dominate and win every single game. Obviously, in football, you don't win every game.
I believe they've won one and lost one. And I checked this earlier because my friend said the same thing. They've drawn one and lost one, I believe, in the league. Like they're clear. They're not underperforming in any sense of the word. They've gone and beat Manchester City, supposedly the best team in Europe. They're not underperforming. It's just that Mauricio Pochettino himself isn't settled in Paris. His family still live in London, and I think he would like to move back. But answering your Erik ten Hag question, he said in an interview recently, talking directly about one of his players, Anthony, the Brazilian winger. He needs to start delivering against the smaller teams because you can't just do it half the time in the Champions League and against PSV. You can't only score half the goals. But he's comfortable in calling out his players to get them to perform better, to get a bounce from them. Not many managers do that because maybe they're not brave enough, or maybe they don't have the respect in the dressing room that he might have at Ajax. Erik ten Hag comes in, he's going to have the aura around him. Just look at him. Look at the way he demands on the touchline. He walks around the touchline, the way he's dressed, the way he presents himself. I like that about him. I like it a lot. And I believe he'd get the respect of someone like Ronaldo. Elite professionals have elite mentalities. And the fact that he's able to call his players out, Anthony, shows that he has an elite mentality as well, Ten Hag. I don't think he'd have any problem fitting in here. Obviously, any manager that comes from any league that isn't the traditional top 5 in Europe is going to have, I say any team, any manager that comes to Manchester United is going to be faced with that question because we are on the top step of world football. So you could ask that for anyone, but I think he's made for the job. I don't think he'd have any problems.
What would you do if we were to get Poch and then obviously there's a vacant role at PSG and Ten Hag was to go there?
I'd be furious because all that says to me is we rushed and we made this decision because, oh snap, we actually don't have a manager right now.
Or we get Poch and Zidane goes to PSG.
That's fine by me. Good evening, Big Ron. That's fine by me because Zidane is... Oh, look, Zidane's wife. Look, okay. Footballers, managers, anyone involved in football, they're still humans. You have to take into consideration their personal life, their needs and wants. He's never been in England before in terms of at a club or as a manager. He's said many times he's taken a break from management, which I think is deserved. He did the three-peat. He won everything. He could have won at Real Madrid, and he's taken a break. He went back and won again. He's taken a break. Pardon. His wife said that she doesn't want to live in Manchester, and I can understand going from Madrid to Manchester might not be the most luxurious of, destinations, but he has a wife. He has to respect what she wants. And he has to think if your wife said to you, I don't want to live there, and then you said, bun that, I'm going to go there anyway. That's not going to put your marriage in good health. That's not going to put your family life, your mental health. You're not going to be feeling the best. Maybe that's why Poch isn't feeling so good in Paris because his family still live in London.
Away. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be too mad if Zidane went to PSG after Pochettino came to us, because all that says to me is I'm French. I can go to PSG or I can manage the French national team, and it wouldn't be different to me because I grew up here. But at the same time, if we got Poch and then Ten Hag went to PSG, I'd be furious because I want Ten Hag. I think he'd do a better job at Manchester United than Mauricio Pochettino because I feel like his ethos and his style of play fits Manchester United better than Mauricio Pochettino.
Got this Poch is the man for Man United. The guy turns boys into men.
He does. There's something.
Yeah, his what's it called? He actually, what's the word? He builds players. He makes players. Them. Yeah, he improves them. Yeah, he improves players, and that can be seen at all the clubs he's been at. All of the clubs he's been at, he's improved players. So that's what we know we'd get from Poch. and he's going to obviously come with all his coaching staff. Obviously, Carrick, McKenna, Phelan, they're not going to stay. They're all going to go. So he's going to come with all his staff, and training will actually start properly. He'll probably start training, and players will improve. But you mentioning his philosophy, you're not too sure of how he plays.
Yeah, look, when he was at Tottenham, they had a front four. They had Eriksen, Son, Ali, and Kane. There's only one winger in there, and that's Son. They would rotate a lot, the three behind Kane. I just never believe I just don't believe he plays with proper wingers, and that's the Manchester United way. That's always been the Manchester United way. At PSG, it's a different story because you can't play Neymar, Messi, Di Maria, and what's the other one? Mbappe, and not play wingers. They're too big. I feel like those are too big of a players, like personalities, to tell them you have to adapt. You have to adapt to my way. If he comes back to Manchester United in the Premier League, which he's done before, I feel like he goes back to his Premier League tactics, his narrow front three, and sometimes boring style of play. And I just don't think that.
But to be honest, a narrow front three can benefit our team. Imagine Sancho. Sancho, yeah, he operates on the right, on the right side, but he can, if he was to play even narrow, his game, he can do it. Same with Rashford. Rashford can come in, shoot, have more shots on target rather than being so far wide. And I'm just saying, based on the players we have, he can actually, if he wanted to do that kind of style of play, it can work.
United where it's 4-4-2,
Yeah,
it's 4-4-2. I'm not gonna lie, I've always loved the 4-4-2.
No one does
Ranieri done it at Leicester. You have four players across the middle. One of the strikers can drop deeper, and which look, you could put Bruno Fernandes as the second striker, and he can drop a bit deeper. You could do a 4-4-1-1. Arteta plays a 4-4-1-1 at Arsenal.
Doesn't work because it doesn't work anymore.
It's working for Arsenal.
4-4-1-1. Okay, 4-4-1-1, but 4-4-2. Your midfield just gets overrun.
You could put Bruno Fernandes as the one behind the one. I think any formation can work if you have enough discipline and good enough players. I just think it can. Arsenal have been flying with the 4-4-1-1. Leicester won the league with a 4-4-2. Yeah, Poch. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd be happy with Poch. I'm not saying I'd be unhappy. But if we can get Ten Hag, I'd want Ten Hag because of the way he plays. And he's on the up. He's young. I don't know what happens at Ajax. I've never looked into it or anything, but everything that comes out of Ajax is just pure gold. You've got Frankie de Jong that came out. Look at what they've done to Dusan Tadic. She was a bum in the Premier League, and now look at him. He's what? I'm making this up because I can't remember the exact number, but it's very close. He's had about 168 appearances for Ajax, and he's got, I think, 166 goal contributions. I know that is two less than the appearances, if that makes sense. But everything that comes out of Ajax is well-educated, professional. They have an elite mentality. Steve McLaren won the Dutch league with AZ Alkmaar. That is a bigger achievement than Haga Ajax. Yeah. Was that after he was... Yeah, that was, 10 years ago? Something like that. Leicester. It was in the 2010s, I believe. But yeah, Ten Hag is shown himself very well around Europe. And I think that taking that step up to Manchester United right now, in the next couple of weeks, will be perfect for him. Tadic was a fantastic. He was great, but he wasn't ripping it up in the Premier League. He's been ripping it up in the Bernabeu. He's been ripping it up in Europe. He's an Ajax captain now. Look, he's taking his game to a whole different level at Ajax. And I put that down to Ten Hag. I don't put that down just to Ajax. I put that down to the management from Ten Hag. I just think that, look, as I said before, I wouldn't be annoyed if Pochettino came, but I'd feel like we're just taking the jump too early.
I'm seeing so many more stories about developments with the Pochettino.
Yeah, look, of course it's going to develop. Ten Hag was McLaren's assistant. I did not know that. Look at Ron with the facts. Thank you very much. What was I saying? As I said, look, before you came, Ron, I was telling the show, if we had to get Pochettino, but we had to get him after the Villarreal game, I wouldn't mind. But then if it came out that maybe we had to wait one more game to get Ten Hag, then I'd wait. I'd wait another game to get Ten Hag because I feel like he'd be better in the long run. I just feel like he would.
The thing is, I'm not hearing. Yeah, we're hearing stories that obviously Ten Hag possibly, but we're not hearing it to the extent that we're hearing these Pochettino stories, like stories saying that we've already been in contact with his probably representatives, finding out £10 million compensation fee that you have to pay PSG. See, I think things are progressing much faster with Pochettino at the moment.
That's journalism. That's just journalism. That's what you would learn. I studied journalism. That's what you learn. You can't, if there's so many different, today we're linked to Pochettino, we're linked to Steve Bruce, Eric Ten Hag, Zinedine Zidane, Rudy Costa, we're linked with Gasperini. If you're linked with so many different people, then you don't believe anything. But if you want to, as a journalist writing for an outlet, you want to be the one that gets it right. You want to be the first one. You're going to fixate on one person. Obviously, the rumors to Pochettino are true. And obviously, the rumors to Eric Ten Hag are true. They're both true. Those are the two front runners. But Pochettino is the one that's taken the lead because it's the most realistic. Ever since he went to PSG, there's always been a little bit of an issue with him. It's known that his family live in London. It just makes more sense. And it just makes more sense to fixate on that. And we probably will get him. Look, they probably are right. But I don't think that just because there's 100 articles of people saying the same stuff, that it should be believed. If anything, if everyone's saying the same thing over and over again, it's more and more, I can't even remember the word. My brain just went blank. Not real. Unlikely, I think is a word. But I'd wait. I'd wait for Ten Hag. If we had to wait 2 months, no, get Pochettino. Like now, get him now. But if we had to wait a week and a half, 10 days, then I'd get Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah, obviously we can only speculate at the moment. Everything is speculation. As you said, the journalists, they're all speculating. They don't know until it's confirmed.
But we don't know who knows. Someone does know. Someone's probably talking directly to his advisors, but we don't know who that is. And that's the risk, and that's the pinch of salt you have to take with everything you read.
Yeah. But going all the way back to the beginning of the show, we were talking about how Ollie's been sacked finally. Yeah, it's sad. I'm sad. But
I'm getting my club back, guys.
But yeah, overall, Ollie, his performance, how would we rate or overall his time at the club? To be honest, I'm going to start by saying he's definitely brought the hope back to the club, because before there was no hope. Yeah, we won a trophy, Europa League of Mourinho, but we got to a point where there was just no hope, and he brought the hope back. So he brought my hopes up. That's what I can say. He brought them up, and then he brought them back down.
What would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10, we came third, came second, got to the final, lost in the semi-finals, 1-0. I'm now distraught because the last 3 performances have been poor. I don't know, overall, 7, 6.
Yeah, I'll give it exactly the same. I was going to say 6.5, because of exactly the same things that you said. He's left us, apart from the squad, in terms of the personnel, he's left us in a worse place than Mourinho left us. If I'm really honest with you, Mourinho won us a couple of things. I believe he won us the Community Shield against Leicester. No. What was that game that Lingard scored against Leicester at Wembley? That was a Community Shield.
Yeah,
right?
Community Shield, yeah.
That was Mourinho.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I believe that was Mourinho. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he won us a Community Shield and he won us the Europa League. Did he win us the League Cup? He did win us the League Cup. Ibrahimovic. It was against Southampton in the final.
Mm.
So he won us 3 trophies, 2 if you don't want to count the Community Shield. But he won us stuff. He gave us something to celebrate. Solskjaer took us so close, and then for whatever reason, it just didn't work. We were convincing until the last hurdle, and then it's like the panic set in. And I think that's where the inexperience came in. So he took us to the promised land, almost let us knock on the door, but nobody let us in. And I think that's the only reason I wouldn't give him a higher score than 7 at the very, very most, because he's put us back in a place where I was going into matches thinking, man, we're going to lose. Watford we conceded 4 against Watford, and for none of those goals did I think, man. I was just sat here and I was like, cool. I was probably texting on my phone or something. It wasn't a shock to me, and that's not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling against any team. It's not a good feeling to feel like it's all right. Like it's cool. I expected this. As a Manchester United fan, you should never ever feel like that. But he's left a good squad, and the manager's going to inherit an amazing squad. And I think that's something we need to talk about next. The fact that the squad was not utilised at all.
It wasn't. Donny van de Beek. Wow. What
poetic,
a story.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It had to be him.
And
it had to be him. And he was the best player on the pitch.
By a mile.
Was the best player on the pitch.
Him and Jadon Sancho.
Yeah. The energy he had going into tackles. He was there showing what he's about. And why it came to the last game, Ollie's last game, that he finally uses him. This doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make any sort of sense why Van der Beek never played.
Because
you were saying? Look,
I'm gonna apologize to you that you had to sit through that, because once again you were at the match. I think it's you, isn't it? You're the reason we're losing. Ibs, when was the last time you went to a United win?
Oh, Villarreal.
Ibs is the bad luck. But what was it like seeing Donny van der Beek and Jadon Sancho perform like that in person? Because obviously I was watching it on TV, and you could just see there was such a big difference between them and everyone.
You could see his presence, their presence on the pitch was very evident. Actually, even I heard Watford fans saying, "Oh, this Van der Beek guy is very good. Why hasn't he been playing all this time?" Like, other fans, they know, they can see when the player is good. Sancho as well, on the right-hand side, back where he should be playing on the right and getting balls into the box. Obviously, it could have been his first assist if Ronaldo decided to score, but Ronaldo got the assist for Donny van der Beek.
No, he did that.
And from there, when it was 2-1, I thought maybe, okay, we're actually going to get back into this game and possibly win the game. But it just wasn't enough. Or I felt the players were not playing for the manager. Yeah, what's his name? Bruno, after the game, was pointing at the team, saying it's not just the manager, it's the team. But I can see the players were not running for the manager. You can see it when you watch a game in person. You can actually see the players physically are not running for the manager, and they just let things happen, which happened in the game.
Yeah, good to see Sancho offering us more too. One thing I can say about Sancho. You saw it at Dortmund. He's a 1-2 player. He wants to give and go. He's a quick touch. It's not, you can't give, if Sancho gives the ball to Scott McTominay, 1, he's probably not going to get it back first time. 2, if he makes that run, he's probably not going to get the ball. But you can see the big difference. Mm-hmm. You have Sancho and Donny van der Beek linking up for the entirety of the second half. 1-2's give and go. Sancho was getting in so much because why? Donny.
Moving the ball faster.
The ball quicker. When Donny plays the ball quicker, other players play the ball quicker as well, and that's what I just don't understand.
Space gets exploited when you do that. Simple.
It's football. So simple. It's so simple. It's football basics, and that's why. Look, for whatever reason, Solskjaer didn't play him, and that was one of his biggest mistakes at Manchester United. And I feel like it was eventually down to stubbornness, and he wanted to prove people wrong. But now that he's going to be watching Manchester United under a different manager, I feel like he's going to realize, look, he's going to admit to himself he messed up when he didn't play Donny van der Beek. And a lot of the other players, you're going to see a lot more of Telles. You're going to see Amad Diallo. I'm excited to see him. I don't care who the manager is. Diallo's going to play because back end of last season, he played against Wolves, played against Leicester, and he was one of the better players on the pitch. You're going to see a lot more. You're going to see a lot more of these creative players.
Sancho is going to be a starter. So is Van der Beek.
Yeah,
telling you that now. They're going to be
100%.
starters.
I
They're going to be
believe
starters
Fred will
under
as well.
under any manager. They'll be starters. Yeah, Fred as well. I think it'll be Fred and Van der Beek. Literally, that's my prediction for tomorrow, which we'll go into later in the show. But that's my prediction. Those people start tomorrow in midfield, and obviously they lost. Yes, maybe I'll stop. But yeah, Van der Beek he'll be starting with whatever manager, be it Pochettino or Ten Hag or whoever, he'll definitely be starting.
And I'm excited. Utilizing the squads, rotate. Look, Chelsea, we said it, I think, in one of the last episodes. I believe Tuchel, what he has there is the best example of a perfect rotation I've seen in a very, very long time. They could play any players and it would just, nothing changes. But each player is going to rack up, 30 plus appearances a season. Stats are going to be spread out. Look, Lukaku's not even on form. I mean, he's out injured. Werner's out injured as well. When they come back, that's even more strength and depth. At the moment, we've got, I believe Cavani is injured. I believe he's injured.
Yeah, but you still have Martial, Lingard, all these players on the bench.
Mason Greenwood will be the second striker. Look, I'm thinking about the future as well. When Ronaldo goes, look, if Solskjaer stayed the whole Ronaldo time, Mason Greenwood's development would have been stunted. Now we're going to get either Ten Hag, who can develop players, or Pochettino, who can develop players. After Ronaldo, we're going to have Mason Greenwood, who I believe is already ready to play up front. He's going to be even more ready to play up front. I just think it's going to be beautiful in a couple of years when Sancho's developed, Rashford's developed because he's stagnated as well. Fernandes, Martial, Greenwood, all of these players are going to improve. And I just think, no hate to Solskjaer personally, because that's uncalled for. Personal hate about him, but his in terms of his managerial qualities, man, he was just lacking in so much. His man management at the beginning, we all thought it was good because he was all happy and smiley with the players. But I think after a while, you realize he doesn't rotate. He doesn't give players a fair opportunity, and he sticks by his favorites. You can name probably 4 or 5. You got McFred,
I think
Maguire.
At the same time, yeah, he was doing that, but he was just scared. As he said, Man United job is the most pressurized job in the world, the hardest job in world football. So if he knew McTominay and Fred or whoever else got the job done for him, most of the time he's going to stick with them because he doesn't want to change anything. He'd rather just be scrutinized for keeping the same players who in the past have delivered the goods. So he's like, oh yeah, he would stick with those players because he's just scared. He's scared of what's going to happen. And ultimately, he's paid the price. But I think he saw it coming for a while. Chelsea don't look the same team. Lukaku starting a little more fluid without him. Chelsea beat teams that match up them. Chelsea dropped points against teams he played back for.
I think
we'll
Lukaku,
wait and see on Sunday because obviously
Lukaku back.
Sunday. I'm not too sure.
He's
gonna
bully Maguire, man. Oh my
Maguire's
God.
not even here, remember?
Oh, thank God. Oh,
but yeah,
I forgot
Chelsea.
about that.
Chelsea, they have the best system because we mentioned Kante hasn't been in the team. Kante's back in the team against Leicester. Scores. You have other players scoring. Rudiger, Pulisic. Even forgot Pulisic. He came on and scored. They have a whole team.
Look, and I think what is so important with Tuchel at Chelsea is no player wants to be dropped because you're a professional footballer. You have the want to play every match. That's what you want to do. Sometimes it's not good. Like Maguire, he burnt himself out. But at Chelsea, what you have is a manager that is obviously and very clearly respected in the dressing room because he's delivered. because he's delivered. He delivered them a Champions League. I feel like when players come back in, when Pulisic come back in, when Ziyech comes back in, Kante, any player that gets dropped, it's fine because they know they're going to get their chance. They know that they're good enough to play, and they know that when they do play, because it's a system that they've worked on meticulously and they know so well, they're going to be playing well. If one player has a bad performance for Chelsea, they're out of the team, and they have a like for like replacement who's good, who's as good or better than them, and that's something that Solskjaer could never do because he wouldn't give the players the opportunity. He wouldn't let them keep their match sharpness up. When Donny van de Beek was coming in for matches, he would play well, but he wouldn't be sharp because he hadn't played in 2 or 3 months. And that's the difference. Solskjaer might say, oh yeah, I'm going to rotate this match, but he'd play Donny for 45 minutes and then take him off because he wasn't ready, because he hadn't played. He'd do the same with Eric Bailly, Telles, Diogo Dalot, thinking of another one, Martial, Lingard, Sancho at the beginning. Like,
yeah,
it's
just
just
a
simple
lot
things
of
like
false promises. Lots of
Yeah.
false promises.
Mata,
Yeah,
look at where is he?
Yeah, Mata, yeah.
Well, he's going,
Hasn't
obviously,
played.
but
I wanted to highlight from the Watford game, Matic. What a player.
yeah.
He's just, if only we had him a few seasons ago in playing like this, because the way he plays, even at his age right now, is just effortless. So effortless. He just got the ball, created space, played it forward. So simple. Matic, if only it was Matic and Van der Beek who started the game, because McTominay, I didn't really see what he did in that first half.
He had the worst half I've ever seen in professional
Oh, yeah,
football.
he gave away a pen. Obviously, De Gea saved 2 pens, but he gave away a pen. But the Matic, obviously, he probably can't expect him to play tomorrow because of his legs. Probably preserve him for Chelsea, maybe.
Yeah, I would hold him for Chelsea. I'd want to see Fred and Donny van der Beek against Villarreal. But one thing I can say, I expect to see Matic playing a lot more now, by the way. In a better system, there's more cohesion, there's more discipline, which means at the end of the day, you're not running as much, you're not exerting as much energy. Maybe Matic couldn't play 90 minutes in a week because when he was playing, he was doing much more than he needed to do.
Yeah, he played the whole match, and he even, when Maguire got sent off, he even slotted into the back, the back four. But yeah, he was doing a lot in that game to try get things going. He was the main midfielder until Van der Beek came on and obviously eased the pressure of what Matic was trying to do. But if McTominay was any other nationality, you'd get 0 game time at United.
Oh, 100%. If he was from a smaller country, let's say Armenia, I was just thinking of Mkhitaryan, he would have been sold. If he didn't Ollie, we have a record for playing a youth graduate, starting a youth graduate in every match. I think it's every Premier League match or every match.
Every Premier League game, I think.
40 years or not? I think it's not just Premier League, is it? Something. There's a few thousand matches. I'm sure Ollie broke that. Ollie broke it.
I don't think so. I doubt it.
Oh, he better not have, because that's a good record to have. I like that.
I mean, Ollie did have records. He had a away record, so he did set records whilst he was at the club. He can go away with his head held high, those kind of things.
Do you know what? I like the records, but look, I'd rather have a trophy, man. Roy Keane said it so nicely. Oh, you can win a few away games, but where's the trophy? Where is the trophy? Arsenal had the record, but I believe they won the league or something.
Yeah.
We had their record, but we're one of the most embarrassing teams we've had in a while. One thing I do want to ask you and the comments, a new manager comes in, Maguire. He probably won't get dropped. But do you think he still retains the armband?
Yeah, he does. No manager's going to come in and remove him. Remove captaincy from him.
It happens. Yeah. It happens.
I doubt a manager's going to come in and remove captaincy from him. that is a very brave move to come to the biggest club in the world, Manchester United, and remove the captain. If it was Roy Keane would come and do it. But no manager's going to come in and remove captaincy from Maguire.
You see the Porto manager wears the captain's armband. That's what Roy Keane would do. He'd be on the touchline wearing the armband. But I think, look, it does happen in football. Because it's not a Manchester United or a Barcelona race, it won't be like front page news, but it does happen. Managers will come in and it's their team now. They can.
Do you imagine the English media? They'll turn on this manager if they remove an English player who's the captain of Man United. If they remove captaincy from him, he'll be that man. Whatever manager will be, there'll be headline news for a few weeks. And any bad result, they'll link it to, oh, you did this. That's why you're getting these bad results. That's the problem with the English press. That will happen.
I do it.
Unless you're giving it to like Bruno or Ronaldo, it makes sense. It makes sense. Maguire, most expensive defender in the world. The manager will have to pay him. It's not worth the hassle. Yeah, it's true. That comes into it. The money we paid for him, he obviously has to play.
Sometimes you just have to take the L. My defense would be Bailly and Varane.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the ideal partnership. But obviously this weekend it'll probably be it'll be Lindelof and Bailly. Tomorrow it'll be Maguire and Lindelof.
I don't want Maguire to play tomorrow because why would you not give game time and the opportunity for another centre back to get some sharpness before a really tough game against Chelsea? I wouldn't play Maguire tomorrow. I just wouldn't. I don't think it makes much sense because it's only a one match, so he'll be back for us. We got Chelsea and then Arsenal in the league, haven't we?
There's one match ban.
Yeah, so we have Arsenal after Chelsea.
Yeah, he'll be back for Arsenal next week.
Yeah, because Pogba has a 2 match because it was a straight red.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him against Villarreal. I wouldn't play him. Obviously, you can't play against Chelsea, but yeah, I'd play Bailly and Lindelof.
Lineups. Yeah, so lineup for tomorrow. Obviously, De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka right back.
Can I just say that it's Carrick, so not much is going to change. It's probably going to be the same.
And then Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, Van der Beek, Sancho, Bruno, Rashford, Ronaldo. That's starting 11.
I'm not going to lie.
Tomorrow. He's not playing McTominay. McTominay got dragged at half time. And Van der Beek came on and had a great half. He has to play Van der Beek.
I'm just thinking, do you think he's going to play Martial? Because Martial did all right when he came on against Watford.
It's true.
He held the ball up quite well.
Why did Rashford get dragged? I wasn't really too sure. If it was injury.
I don't think it was playing too well.
Do you think Martial will start? Martial. He didn't do badly. He had a good game.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in the back of my head about this a youth player or a youth graduate starting every match because I'm pretty sure it's not just the Premier League. I'm pretty sure it's every competition.
No, it can't be every competition.
I'm 100% sure it's every competition. 100% sure.
You think Champions League and we're playing with Louis van Gaal that we had an academy graduate on the pitch?
Yes. Louis van Gaal, he promoted so many. He gave debuts to 15 academy graduates. 15. Yes, 100%. You remember Borthwick Jackson? When Borthwick Jackson was playing
I remember that guy. Yeah.
He was putting balls into the box. Like I was thinking, wow, he's actually a really good crosser of the ball. Louis van Gaal was one of the best. Well, he was the best at promoting youth, apart from Sir Alex Ferguson. But even Mourinho was good. He gave what's that guy's name? Scored against Crystal Palace on the final day. Josh Harrop. I remember him. I thought
I remember. I thought he was the guy.
Yeah.
Where is he now?
I think it's at Preston.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
If I'm correct, Preston North End. Yeah, Louis van Gaal loves youth. But I think that record is every competition. I don't think it's just the Premier League. Because we're not a team like Manchester City who have like just one, like Phil Foden, and they play him for 5 years in a row. The majority of our team has been youth graduates. Look, we had the class of 90. Half of our team through the whole of Sir Alex Ferguson's time was academy players. And then those academy players that come through near the end of the time carry on going. It's just like a rolling effect. So I think if Rashford doesn't play, Greenwood starts, because that will be
Greenwood
something
is
that gets
back, but
spoken about.
Wait, Greenwood's not available tomorrow, is he?
It will be something that gets spoken about. Like, you can't break this record now. Like, it's something.
Yeah, there'll always be. I think there'll always be a player.
Yeah, but at the moment, the only people we have that graduates are McTominay. I mean that play are McTominay, Rashford, and Greenwood. McTominay's
Pogba counts as well. Obviously, he's injured.
He's not injured, is he? Oh,
yeah, he is.
Oh,
yeah, Pogba's out. So we need to be building that midfield. Fred and Van der Beek, or Van der Beek and Matic, they need to be. Next manager needs to solidify that going forward.
Dean Henderson might play. I don't know.
What,
look how many? Foster. Where did Foster come from? What team did he come from? He came from Watford. Josh King was. I can't believe he was the first one I scored. I should have put a bet on it. It was written in the stars. I remember Cleverly. Man, he was good for United. But it's either going to be Greenwood or Rashford that start tomorrow. But I feel like it's
Rashford's back. I mean, do you think Greenwood's back because he was out of COVID? He had a positive COVID test, so that's why he was out on the weekend. So I don't know how long.
When did he test positive?
I don't know. I don't know how long he's out for. But
I didn't actually know that.
I can't have Sancho on the left and Sancho on the right, so it has to be Martial or Rashford.
Well, in that case, McTominay plays next to Van der Beek, because I'm just thinking about the record. It definitely gets spoken about. Greenwood and Shaw not travelled. No, I'm just thinking about the record. It's something like it will get spoken about. They will know about that. Carrick can't come in his first game and just end the record. Let me type this up.
No, I don't think it's not that deep, to be honest.
I think it is. Manchester United is all about the youth, and it's all about promoting the youth and all of that stuff. Manchester United youth players. God. In 2019, 4,000 games with academy players. That was an article written in 2019. I'm trying to find a more recent one.
Times will score for tomorrow.
Maybe it ended in 2019. Oh, we're going to win. Maybe 1 or 2 now.
2-1. We'll concede. Maguire's at the back, so we'll concede.
Greenwood and Shaw not travelled. Tellers. I want to see Tellers. Tellers. Oh, he must feel like a victim. Diogo Dalot came on at left back. And Tellers was on the bench.
Yeah. Ollie forgot his name. That was the reason why. I'm going to say...
You're going for a 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Because we have Maguire at the back, I'm going back to the Maguire
I don't think he's playing.
I'm going back to the Maguire slander because I remember when we started All Things Football, we're always getting onto Maguire. Now, we're back here again. Going back. The fridge.
The full circle.
This guy, his poor touch was the one that led to the red card. He was having a poor game anyway.
He tried to beat someone for pace. You remember in an interview, he was like, I'm not actually that slow. Like, his self-awareness is quite poor, I think.
I saw him when the ball, it was in the first half, the ball came to him, and then he took so long, he took his time. And then Dennis came and closed him down and won the ball back. And obviously the whole crowd erupted as Dennis won the ball back, and obviously Watford were on the front foot.
Let me get the Manchester United travelling squads. Villarreal versus United. Because now I'm a bit concerned about this.
No, Maguire's starting. He was in the press conference next to Carrick. That means he starts.
True, man. Do you know what that means to me? we've already confirmed our manager, because think about it, yeah.
What do you mean?
If
Our manager?
Carrick it knows that he's only in charge for one game, yeah, he plays the best team he believes possible. So he starts Maguire. He's going to start Rashford, Ronaldo, all of that. If he knows that he's going to be in charge for Chelsea as well, he has to think about the Chelsea game as well.
No, I think I saw the interview, and it seems from the way he was answering questions, he's solely obviously focused on tomorrow, and I think he knows that he probably won't be there for Chelsea. I think he knows that.
Why have we got Carrick and Fletcher in charge, man? That's actually annoying me. Anyways.
Yeah, of course, we can't blame Ollie for Maguire's poor performances, but we can blame Ollie for picking him despite these poor performances. So,
yep. Laporte got dropped for almost the whole year, and he was one of the best. He's one of the best centre backs.
John Stones spent a significant period on the bench. Obviously, now then he refound his form and is in the team. Maguire needs to spend some time on the bench, refine his form, and then you deserve to be in the team. You don't just start on merit. You need to earn it. You need to earn the right.
He's not even starting on merit. He's starting because he has the armband. Aubameyang, club captain, he got dropped for ages. Fernandinho is the club captain. He barely plays. Who's the club captain for Chelsea? Azpilicueta is currently on the bench.
Exactly.
All of these top teams, Henderson, all of the top. Look, that's the difference. All of these top teams, doesn't matter who you are. If you're not performing well, you get dropped. And you have to earn your place back. Manchester United, Harry Maguire, mate, we spent money on you. You have to play every match. Doesn't matter how bad you're playing. And it's not just Harry Maguire, by the way. It's Bruno Fernandes should have been dropped a couple of times this season already. So it's not just Maguire slander. We're just trying to improve. That's the difference between Manchester United under Solskjaer and the other teams.
Yeah.
I
think Luke Shaw won't be there. Cavani won't. Greenwood, it says Greenwood was absent for the game against Watford, but it doesn't say that he's absent for tomorrow. And it just says Luke Shaw had concussion, but doesn't say he's absent for tomorrow.
What the hell?
So I actually don't know.
I've got the travelling squad. First of all, Lee Grant and Phil Jones travelled, even though they're not actually in the Champions League squad, so they can't play anyway, which I find ridiculous. So the travelling squad is De Gea, Dean Henderson, Tom Heaton, Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Lindelof, Maguire, Dalot, Telles, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Fred, Mata, Matic, Van der Beek, Lingard, Ahmad, Jadon Sancho, Rashford, Ronaldo, and Martial. So Greenwood isn't travelling with the squad. Lingard
Did you say Shaw?
Luke Shaw's not travelling, no.
Okay, so Telles left back. Telles left back, and Van der Beek in midfield with Fred. I'd say.
Yeah, Ron. United players look rusty as fuck because when Ollie rotates, he rotates once every 3 or 4 months.
They're tired. All we've been doing every game is running around chasing the ball. Even against Watford, we're chasing the ball. We're just chasing the ball. The players are tired. Ronaldo, he just ran. That's all I saw him do. He just ran after the ball.
Yeah.
If we keep the ball, make the other team run. It's basics. But we weren't even doing that. The players, like some of the players, maybe weren't confident because we've been losing so many games, and we just need 4-1. I don't know. I don't know where those scores came from.
Yeah, Claudio Ranieri outclassed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it wasn't a surprise, which was the saddest thing about it.
Watford fans singing "Ole's at the wheel." But I mean, now Carrick's at the wheel, so I look forward to tomorrow's game. 5:45 kickoff tomorrow, 5:45, I think.
I think it's 5 p.m. What?
5 p.m. Let me see.
No, it can't be 5 p.m.
Yeah, 5:45 kickoff. Away to Villarreal, Champions League group stage. And yeah.
I'm excited. Wait, did I say that Rafa Varane was travelling?
I doubt it.
No, he's not travelling. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Ollie's been sacked. Thank you, Ollie, for what you've done and what you brought back to the club. You brought the hope back, and enjoy your time back in Norway with your family. Catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.